Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome to another Cinema Sickness Daily Servings review. Today we're going to take a look at a short, but nonetheless very entertaining and informative documentaries on one of my all-time favorite heroes. So we're going to take a look at 1984's Henson's Place, the Man Behind the Muppets. Now this documentary is obviously a documentary about the late and great Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets. Now, this was a documentary that was filmed still very much in the heyday of Jim's career, and, most importantly, Jim was obviously still alive. This was about 6 years prior to his untimely death, but, you really get a great insight into the genius of who Jim Henson was and, just all the amazing things that he accomplished in, the short career that he did have. Well, it's not really fair to call it short, because he was busy, performing with Muppets for, over 28 years by the time he struck it big with the Muppet Show. But what this documentary really captures is, just like him at his, overall his peak. They talk about and discuss, the impact that he had at first with Sesame Street, and then, of course, blowing up with the Muppet Show, and then, the documentary really picks up right at, the takeoff of shows like Fraggle Rock, Dark Crystal, and leading up right into the Muppets Take Manhattan film. Now, what's really great is not only are you, getting first-hand interviews with Jim Henson, but, they also talk to a number of close associates and family members, such as his wife, Jane Henson, probably his closest associate on The Muppet Show, that being Frank Oz, the man responsible for taking up The Muppet Show in England, Lord Grade, among many, many other people, but it's really cool to hear just Jim talk about, what drives him and whatnot, because it's interesting to note, the comparisons and parallels between Jim and Walt Disney. I mean, they were just unbelievable geniuses that just kind of tapped into this childlike curiosity and imagination in every project that they touched, and I don't think that there's ever been a person since people, like Jim Henson and Walt Disney to kind of go beyond what they were, what they accomplished in their respective works, and that's a testament to, their amazing creativity. But it's really cool to see Jim Henson talk here, because he's very different from the characters that he, puts his hands into and portrayed on television, but at the same time, he's not all that different. He's a very private and withdrawn person on camera when he's being asked questions, but you can kind of see, the childlike charm and curiosity in his eye when he's talking about his creations. It's really cool to see, at various parts in this documentary, just him being very hands-on in the Muppet workshop, dealing with materials, and then just seeing, very fly-on-the-wall footage of him, with his hand up the puppets, and, shooting scenes, and, looking over the shoulder of, cameramen and whatnot. So it's a really, really cool perspective, and a very cool, time capsule of Jim Henson at his peak. It's a really, it's a great documentary to pick up. I mean, you can pick this up for just bargain prices. I paid, I think, less than $10 for this wonderful documentary, so I would absolutely recommend anybody that's ever shown the slightest interest in anything that Jim touched in his lifetime to pick this up, because it is really cool. It's kind of a shame that there hasn't been a really thorough and informative documentary on Jim's life since Henson's Place, especially since the new Muppet movie hit theaters this past Thanksgiving. But Jim's life and all the things that he brought to the small and big screen are ones that need to be kind of kept into the public, consciousness. His life story is an incredible one, and I believe just a year or two ago, one of the best unproduced scripts of that year was a very surrealistic take on Jim's life, told in very dreamlike-esque sequences, and I believe it was called The Muppet Man. I would do anything to get my hands on that script to read it, because I think that a Jim Henson biopic is, long overdue. But, like I said, Henson's Place is a great documentary, and although it's not incredibly long, it clocks in, under an hour, it's incredibly informative and really entertaining to just see Jim still at his peak, with a very strong workaholic sense as he's, dividing his time, commuting from England to New York and LA. So, he was just a workaholic that, loved his job and just loved, bringing magic into the world. So I highly recommend checking out Henson's Place. It's a really, really great documentary on a wonderful talent that was taken from us far too early. Well, guys, that's all I got for you in this review, but I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. The next 2 days, there will not be any Cinema Sickness Daily Servings review, because I'm going to be working double shifts the next 2 days, so I'm just literally not going to have any time to watch anything. But don't worry, come Sunday, more reviews will be back, so stay tuned for that. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Later.